The little girl's finger lifted slowly, and the entire store seemed to fall silent. It was Christmas Eve, the kind of evening filled with warm lights, cheerful music, and families rushing through crowded aisles looking for last-minute gifts. But in one small corner of a brightly decorated supermarket, something unexpected was about to change 4 lives forever. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, comment where you're watching from, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this one. Snowflakes drifted softly outside while Daniel Carter pushed his cart down the toy aisle, holding his 5-year-old daughter Lily in one arm. The little girl wore a bright red Christmas dress and fluffy white earmuffs that made her look like a tiny holiday angel. Daniel's life revolved entirely around her. For the past 4 years, he had been both father and mother, protector and comforter, working long hours while doing everything he could to make sure Lily never felt the emptiness that had once shattered his own heart. Christmas had always been difficult for Daniel. It reminded him of the life he once thought he would have, a warm home, a loving partner, and laughter filling every corner of the house. Instead, he had learned to build a different kind of happiness, one centered entirely around the little girl in his arms. As he reached for a small teddy bear Lily had been admiring, he suddenly froze. Standing just a few steps away was someone he hadn't seen in years. Emma. His ex. The woman who had once promised forever, before walking away from him during the most difficult moment of his life. Emma looked different now, but also painfully familiar. Her blonde hair was styled neatly, and she wore a long cream-colored coat with a red scarf wrapped around her neck. Beside her stood a tall man in an expensive black suit, holding a shopping basket filled with holiday decorations. Her fiancé. For a brief moment, time seemed to rewind itself. Memories flooded Daniel's mind, hospital hallways, sleepless nights, arguments, heartbreak, and the quiet moment when Emma had chosen a different path. Emma noticed him too. Her eyes widened in shock. She hadn't expected to see Daniel here, especially not holding a child. Before either of them could say anything, Lily leaned forward slightly in Daniel's arms and pointed directly at Emma's fiancé. The man had been calm and confident just seconds earlier, but the moment the little girl spoke, his entire body stiffened. His face went pale. Completely frozen. The cheerful Christmas music continued playing overhead, but in that moment, the world between them felt strangely quiet. Daniel felt Lily shift in his arms, her small finger still pointing. Children had a way of noticing things adults often tried to hide. Lily had always been curious, observant, and incredibly honest, sometimes more honest than the world was ready for. Emma's fiancé stared at the little girl, his confident posture suddenly replaced by visible unease. His eyes moved quickly from Lily, to Daniel, and then back again. Something about this moment was clearly unsettling him. Daniel himself didn't understand what was happening. All he knew was that the tension between these strangers was thick enough to feel. The man cleared his throat, but no words came out. Emma glanced nervously between them, as if she suddenly realized something she hadn't considered before. For years, Daniel had imagined what it would feel like to see Emma again. He thought he might feel anger, resentment, or even regret. But standing there now, holding Lily close, he realized something surprising. He didn't feel broken anymore. Life had tested him in ways he never expected. After Emma left, Daniel had struggled deeply. There were nights when exhaustion and loneliness nearly crushed him. Raising a child alone while working 2 jobs had forced him to grow stronger than he ever believed possible. But Lily had been his light through every dark moment. Her laughter filled the empty spaces. Her hugs made the hardest days worth surviving. She didn't just save him. She gave him purpose. The man beside Emma finally spoke, though his voice carried an uneasy edge. His eyes remained locked on Lily, as if trying to solve a puzzle that had suddenly appeared in front of him. Emma looked nervous now, her confident expression replaced by something closer to guilt. Daniel could sense it. The past had a strange way of resurfacing when people least expected it. The holiday lights sparkled around them, reflecting off shelves filled with colorful gifts, but the warmth of Christmas seemed distant inside that small aisle. Daniel gently adjusted Lily in his arms, brushing a strand of hair from her face. She looked calm, innocent, unaware of the emotional storm swirling around the adults. Sometimes children spoke truths the world wasn't prepared to hear. Emma's fiancé seemed unable to shake the shock from his face. The more he looked at Lily, the more unsettled he became. Daniel wasn't sure what the man was thinking, but whatever it was, it had clearly shaken him to the core. For a long moment, none of them moved. Just before we reach the end of this story, I want to ask you something special. Comment below with the word hope if you believe life always has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Because sometimes, the moments we fear the most become the ones that reveal how strong we've truly become. Daniel didn't know what the future held. He didn't know why this encounter had affected Emma's fiancé so deeply. And honestly, for the first time in years, he realized he didn't need to know. His life had already moved forward. He had already found the love that mattered most. Lily wrapped her tiny arms around his neck, resting her head gently against his shoulder. The simple gesture filled Daniel with a quiet sense of peace that no past heartbreak could ever take away. Emma watched them closely, her expression softening as she saw the bond between father and daughter. Perhaps she realized something in that moment. Perhaps she understood that while she had walked away years ago, Daniel had built something beautiful from the pieces left behind. The store lights glowed warmly around them as families continued shopping, unaware that a small but meaningful chapter of life had just unfolded nearby. Daniel gave a polite nod and slowly walked past Emma and her fiancé, Lily still safely in his arms. He didn't look back. Some stories don't need revenge. Some endings are simply about growth. And sometimes, the greatest victory is realizing you no longer carry the weight of the past. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you stories that remind us all how powerful kindness and love can be. Because in the end, the strongest heroes are often the quiet ones, the single parents who keep going, even when life gives them every reason to stop. Christmas tree.